I'm confident in myself. Like, I'm not focusing on him. I just know what I can do, and I can't wait to show it. I'm not going to crumble. I'm solid. I've been through wars, and I'm still standing super strong.
Have you lost your mind? This is Anthony Joshua that you just called out. You're fighting Anthony Joshua in less than a month. Why are you doing this?
I like to challenge myself. I like to take on the biggest, the best. I said anyone, anytime, any place. I truly mean that.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Let's go!
Anthony Joshua gives a brutal warning to Jake Paul during their intense face-to-face, making it clear that he's approaching this fight with the mindset of a seasoned champion, not a celebrity stepping into the ring for attention. Joshua says he's more confident than ever in his skill set, emphasizing that years of elite-level experience can't be faked or rushed. He reveals that he's been training with some of the best coaches in the world, sharpening his fundamentals, tightening his combinations, and preparing for every possible angle Jake might bring. According to Joshua, this isn't just another fight, it's a statement, and he plans to show Jake Paul the vast difference between a YouTuber-turned-boxer and a true heavyweight warrior.
I align myself with some of the greatest coaches and greatest fighters in the world because I have that hunger, that desire. Every time I've been knocked down or been in trouble when I was younger, came back 3 years later, got to the Olympics, get in trouble again before the Olympics, 3 years later, become world champion after 16 fights, win all the belts, get beat by Ruiz, come back and unify the division for the second time. It's just constantly drives my focus and my hunger to get better. So I'm going to be a tough man to break down 100% come December 19th because I've been building myself over the last year. I ain't been sitting back. I've been working.
For Joshua, this fight represents a significant comeback attempt. The former two-time unified heavyweight champion and Olympic gold medalist hasn't fought since his knockout loss to Daniel Dubois in September 2024. In announcing the fight, Joshua declared he would show no mercy, calling the bout a mega show and vowing to break the internet over Jake Paul's face. On his part, Paul, who holds a 12-1 record with 7 knockouts and whose previous wins came mostly against smaller MMA fighters or journeymen, said that defeating Joshua could wipe out all doubt about his legitimacy and open the door to a world title shot.
Thank you for having me. Well, you got to give credit to Jake and his team. They reached out to me, to be fair. And it was a great opportunity for me. So it's an opportunity for me to fight. I wanted to take 12 months out of the game, and I'd done that. And then it was time to get back to work, so I was planning on fighting anyway. And actually, I would have been fighting this weekend if I had it my way. And this opportunity presented itself, and I said, yeah, why not? It's great. I think it's massive. It's colossal. It's making big news. We're bringing marketability together with ability. Those two worlds collide. You got Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, and we're here in Miami. We're bringing Europe, Africa, Asia, Nigeria, the whole world together to watch this show on Netflix. It's going to be phenomenal. And that's how we ended up here, basically. Two guys that just want to put on a good show.
But the fight is riddled with controversy, uncertainty, and debate. Some critics argue that Joshua risks serious reputational damage by agreeing to fight Paul, who many in the boxing community don't consider a legitimate heavyweight contender. As veteran commentator and former champion Johnny Nelson recently pointed out, Joshua is in a no-win situation. Should he dominate, the victory may be dismissed as expected. If the fight drags or looks competitive, he could be accused of tarnishing his legacy.
Who do you got, Jake Paul or Anthony Joshua?
Anthony Joshua?
By far?
Yeah. Too easy.
Why did he take that fight?
I think he didn't have no opponents and he wanted to make Netflix happy, and I think he made a misstep. I think he was handling his career perfectly.
Yeah.
I think he would have beat Gervonta.
I think he would have beat Gervonta too.
But I think this is a big misstep. I think he let his ego get in from him and let the fans decide.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make me look? He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me two-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago. And now all of a sudden, he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on. Like, you can't be serious. You can't beat me. And I'm not Anthony Joshua, am I? So It's just ludicrous. It really is.
Ryan Garcia discusses the potential life-changing impact on Jake Paul if he loses. He points out that Joshua's power is not to be underestimated, and that a defeat could affect Paul, not only in the immediate physical sense, but also in terms of reputation and career trajectory. The experience could be transformative, highlighting the immense challenge Paul faces. Garcia emphasizes that Joshua's punching power and skill make this fight a serious test, and the consequences of failure are tangible. Training, preparation, and awareness are critical for Paul to navigate the risks that Joshua's presence in the ring presents.
In my opinion, I think that this has been a misstep from Jake. I think he wanted to make his partners at Netflix a little too happy, and he's gonna walk into it. But like, look it, he loses to AJ. Where does he go from here? Who does he fight? You gonna go back down to 135?
The problem is not that he loses to AJ. The problem is the way he's gonna lose to AJ might be life changing.
Right.
So that's the real issue.
It could be life changing in many ways, right? Physically.
Yeah.
See what he did in Nagano. It's like, but then again, like if he gets knocked out, he gets knocked out. Nobody really expects anything.
Adding fuel to that concern, former champion and pundit George Groves has suggested the fight looks fixed unless Joshua annihilates Paul quickly. Groves argued that anything less than a rapid knockout, especially within the first 30 seconds or early in the first round, would raise suspicion among fans.
Is Jake Paul still trying to convince people that he's a legitimate boxer? He's not a legitimate boxer. You've picked someone who was a professional boxer, whose dad was a legend of professional boxing. You might as well pick someone from Love Island or something. He does make a mockery of boxing. He wants to fight a welterweight, then a heavyweight, then it's a featherweight. And ultimately, what he wants to do is not have a real fight. I think he genuinely believes he's a boxer. He's not fighting any current boxer.
On the other hand, Joshua's team is banking on a swift and brutal performance. Hearn has boldly predicted that Paul will be obliterated within 4 rounds, claiming that as soon as Joshua lands a clean chin shot, the fight will be over. Hearn has framed the bout as a necessary step for Joshua to rebuild his profile and potentially secure an even bigger showdown in 2026, perhaps with the likes of Tyson Fury. Once more, attention has shifted back toward elite heavyweight competition.
So, obviously, AJ versus Jake Paul. Not gonna lie, did not ever see this happening, like ever, ever, ever. So, were you just as surprised when he agreed to do it as the world was?
Yeah, I mean, I had to deal with obviously knowing that it might happen, and then the contract coming through signed by Jake Paul, and I sort of looked at it. I was like, oh my god, he's done it. So yeah, look, I have to give him credit. I do think he's crazy. I think he's got absolutely no chance. I think he's going to get smashed to pieces.
Do you think Jake's crazy?
Yeah, I mean totally. I mean, listen, for us, we received an offer that was massive money and a really easy fight. We were talking about fighting this week here in an 8-round fight. Now we're fighting in an 8-round fight for 40 times more money against Jake Paul. So I love the opportunity for AJ on so many levels. I think it's a straightforward fight, massive profile, and especially in the US. So we can go back into 2026 all guns blazing with Turki Al-Sheikh and the plans to hopefully fight Tyson Fury. But in the meantime, we get to wrap our hands, go out there, build the profile a little bit, smash up Jake Paul, make a fortune, and on we go. So, yeah, for us, we were very pleased.
For this matchup, Joshua has been required to use smaller 10-ounce gloves. The adjustment is intended to balance the spectacle of the fight, making it more enticing to viewers and media, while also keeping the punch impact slightly controlled. Even with these gloves, the analysts stress that the risk to Paul remains significant. Joshua's power is well documented, and the reduction in padding may increase the likelihood of knockouts. The gloves are a technical change, but they do not remove the fundamental disparity in strength, skill, and experience between the two fighters, ensuring that every punch carries serious consequences.
This is going on people's records. AJ got to take him serious because this isn't some exhibition. We're running out some judges to act like there's a decision and someone won. No, someone's going to win, someone's going to lose here. It's 8 rounds, 3-minute rounds. Again, heavyweight, pro bout, 10-ounce gloves. AJ talking about breaking internets over faces. I think he meant to say breaking his face on the internet. Who knows? Maybe you can do both in the big 2025. But then you have the weight limit, 245 pounds, and people are automatically going to go, oh, God, here's the thing. Oh, here's the thing in the contract. No, stop all that. And I'm going to go on a rant in a second for all the people that thought this was fake, for all the people that thought that Jake wouldn't do this, for all the people that thought he was scared. I'm going to go on that rant in a second. But, okay, yes, 245 is a weird number because Jake has already fought at heavyweight. He fought Mike Tyson at 220-something. But again, I understand it a little bit. We're on short notice here. You don't want to have a Tyson Fury type situation, which AJ would never be 290 coming in here. But 260, 270, it starts to get out of the realm of possibility of, like, what are we doing here?
Meanwhile, the Wade Concept has indeed warned that the fight between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul might not be the easy walkover many expect. In their breakdown, Wade Concept argues that Paul shouldn't be dismissed as a clown. They claim Joshua is slow and stiff with no chin, suggesting that Paul's speed, youth, and unorthodox style could create real problems for Joshua if he underestimates him. He argues that Jake Paul might have some tricks up his sleeve and isn't treating his upcoming fight with Anthony Joshua as seriously as many expect. According to Wade, Paul seems to approach this fight less like a disciplined professional showdown and more like another flashy spectacle. But that attitude could be his unexpected advantage. They suggest Paul isn't overthinking things, meaning he may fight with reckless confidence, timing, speed, and unorthodox style rather than the usual calculated boxing game plan. That unpredictability, not seen in more conventional heavyweights, could catch Joshua off guard, making Paul dangerous despite being viewed as the underdog.
All right, so we are back on The Wade Concept presented by The Ring Magazine, and today I'm starting to question myself. What is the possibility that Jake Paul might not be as easy of a fight for Anthony Joshua as I previously thought? What if Jake makes this a little more difficult than we imagine? I'm not trying to talk nonsense, and I'm not even trying to be a contrarian. I am just looking at what I have seen in the last couple of days, and it's starting to make me wonder. Am I wrong about Jake versus AJ? Not like I think Jake will win the fight, because I think that's nonsense, but something's going on, and I can't quite figure it out. But Jake has a secret weapon. Apparently he has a couple of them, and I'm about to expose them right here for you guys, and then I want you to decide, what do you think? Will this help him? Will these secret weapons, will these things he was trying to keep quiet, will they help him beat AJ, or is it too little too late, both figuratively and literally? What do I mean? The breakdown. Let's go. But folks, before we get into the breakdown, I want to say a big thank you to the sponsor of today's video, 1st Phorm. That's right, folks. 1st Phorm is one of the most trusted supplement companies in the United States and a brand I personally use every day. 1st Phorm makes high-quality, third-party tested products designed to help you perform better, recover faster, and look and feel your best. Whether you're trying to build muscle, lose fat, or just get your nutrition dialed in, they've always got something that fits. And what I love about 1st Phorm is that their products actually work. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, just real results. And like I said, everything's third-party tested, so you know whatever's on the label is exactly what you're getting. And my personal favorites from 1st Phorm is this Formula 1 Whey Isolate post-workout protein, or the Micro Factor that I take on a daily basis, which is an incredible vitamin pack that's designed to support immunity, overall health, energy, cellular function. You got it all covered. And for you guys, I have an exclusive deal when you click the link in the description. Buy any 1st Phorm product today, and you'll get a 5-pack of 1st Phorm protein sticks for free with your order. Once again, click the link in the description. Get your products from 1st Phorm today and get a 1st Phorm protein stick pack of 5 for free with your order. And trust me, you will thank me later. They are that good. So thank you to 1st Phorm for sponsoring this video. And one more time, make sure you guys click that link in the description and get your products today. Now, let's get back to the breakdown. All right, so like I said, Jake Paul got a couple of tricks up his sleeve for this Anthony Joshua fight. Now, again, does it matter what Jake does when we're talking about a fight that was just booked a week and a half ago and now is about 3.5 weeks from happening? Can you get good enough, as prepared as you need to be for an Anthony Joshua fight if you're Jake Paul, who hasn't fought someone in the top, realistically, the top 50? I know Tommy Fury is ranked in the top 50, but anyone that is a top 50 fighter, even in your weight class, let alone a top 10, top 5 heavyweight in Anthony Joshua, who was a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world. Can you get prepared for a guy like that if you brought in, let's just say, a deity, freaking Zeus, Hercules, whoever, to prepare you? Could you do it? I don't think that Jake would have enough time, seeing as he's already undersized. He's not a real heavyweight, and this is Anthony And Joshua we're talking.
Their commentary taps into wider skepticism in boxing circles. Reports show that longtime professional observers, including Tim Bradley, consider the bout dangerous for Joshua, arguing he might not be mentally there after recent injuries and setbacks. Joshua will need to cut weight substantially to meet the agreed 245-pound limit, which some say could dull his usual power advantage. Influencer Harrison Sullivan discusses the upcoming Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight, expressing skepticism about betting on it. He predicts Joshua could win within 2 rounds but opts out, calling the matchup a bit mad due to the apparent skill gap. He notes the press conference was surprisingly calm, with little trash talk, and observes that Paul appeared unusually respectful toward Joshua, treating him like a proper fellow. HS speculates that facing a superior opponent naturally brings humility, comparing it to fighting legends like prime-era Mike Tyson. Overall, he sees the fight as unpredictable but heavily in Joshua's favor, highlighting the contrast between Paul's usual bravado and the serious nature of facing a top-tier professional boxer.
Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, your thoughts on this fight?
I wouldn't bet on it myself because I just think it's dodgy. Because if I was thinking in my head and I was betting on it, I'd bet AJ within 2 rounds and I'd put a lot of money on it. But I'm a gambling man, actually. I'm a gambling addict, and I need help. But yeah, I'm not even gambling on this one. I'm leaving it out.
How do you see it going?
Don't know. Could go anyway, just because I just think it's a bit mad.
Did the press conference surprise you? How it seemed like a little tame. There wasn't much trash talk. AJ didn't seem like overly excited.
No, to be honest, I don't watch boxing presses normally, so I don't know if that's AJ's character, if he's just a humble guy in general. I feel like he probably is. I don't know though. Do you know?
He's normally. He is. But I thought I was surprised that Jake Paul didn't sort of try and play his mind games. Jake Paul was sort of playing nice almost in that presser, compared to how he compares against in other press conferences.
He's talking to a fucking proper fella, innit? If it was proper, he'd get weighed in. So I think even he's got a bit of, I don't know, just a bit of humility on that situation. You know what I mean? It's like I'm a very confident guy, but if I was fighting someone who was better than me, you know, like way better, like in a different league, I probably wouldn't be as much of a, I don't know, like if I was fighting someone like Mike Tyson in his prime, but if I was fighting someone in the modern day, like, I don't know, Tyson Fury or something, or Tommy Fury, whoever, like any of these pros, I'd be normal.
You'd be more humble.
No, I wouldn't. I'd be normal with them types of fellas, but Mike Tyson in his prime, I'd be a little bit humble, do you know what I mean? One of them ones, but anyway.
At face value, this matchup is a massive gamble. On one side, you have Anthony Joshua, an Olympic pedigree, elite punching power, wide reach, and years of high-level experience. On the other side is Jake Paul, a brash social media-era fighter with fewer pro rounds under his belt, known more for spectacle than elite boxing. Many analysts and fans see Paul at a serious disadvantage. The fight may very well be less about legacy and more about spectacle, but that doesn't mean it lacks stakes. For Joshua, a dominant win could re-establish him among boxing's elite. A mediocre performance risks damaging his legacy. For Paul, an upset would supercharge his reputation, but a loss might reinforce doubts about the legitimacy of crossover boxing. Ultimately, this fight is a high-risk, high-reward test for both men, a gamble of ego, legacy, money, and skills. Once the bell rings, all debates, hype, and predictions will be settled inside the ring.
Jake is fine, AJ.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to give him props. Fair play, Jake. That is a big fight.
Props.
I mean, AJ should knock him out.
It is a weird one. Like, am I just being stupid? Like, is he not just going to wig him?
AJ
like,
by soap being dropped in prison stuff. AJ by brutal Bonnie Blue scene. AJ by just something vile.
Him even stepping up to fight AJ is
AJ two-time
crazy.
heavyweight world champion. Yeah, it's no joke.
Which side are you on, Joshua or Paul? Drop your pick in the comments.